Coach, no games this past week. How was practice?
Hey, it was good. We mostly had great practices, and we're just continuing to get our chemistry right. So.
Dating back to your opening series, what went well for you? You won both games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, what was the question?
What went well for you?
Oh, what went well for me? Going into those games, I didn't quite know what to expect, which is different for me because we usually have a lot of returners coming back. But, when we started this season, we had 11 new bodies, and so you never know going into that first game really what you're looking at. But I felt like our players, especially our young ones, because there were times that we put in 5 freshmen, and sometimes that looks like a mess when you do that. But I felt like they held their own really well. I think they all have a bright future, and the more minutes that we can get from those guys, the better they're going to be. And I think they've taken those few games that we played at the beginning, and now we've had about 10 days off to where we can learn from what we did in those two games. And then, we're going to play Adams State on Thursday and just prepare for them.
You touched on my next question. You have a fairly new look squad this year with, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 freshmen and 4 transfers.
Yes.
What can we expect this season, and how will your returning starters, your seniors, guide them?
Yeah, we started the games with our returners. I feel like they've been in our system long enough to know what we want out there, and they've been great leaders for our team, and they've been taking those new ones aside and teaching them out of practice, which is huge. That's what you want as a coach. And I think every day they're trying to all get on the same page, and that takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I feel like they've been working together well and meshing, and I do feel like we're a whole lot more versatile this year as far as the defensive end goes. We're a lot quicker on our feet in multiple positions, not just one. And I feel like we can throw some different defenses out there and, just be creative on the offensive end, which they've picked up really quickly.
How has this week off helped your team regroup and recharge before your home opener?
Yeah, it's given us some time to step back and look at what we did good, and we want to run with those things and build on them. And then it also has given us time to learn from what we didn't do so well. Film looks different than what you feel on the court. And so those little small details that our young ones are doing out there that they think they're doing but they're not quite getting there has been important to them. And there's some of them that haven't watched much film in their life, and so it's been a good opportunity for us to teach in that way. A lot of them are visual learners, and so when they can see those plays develop or maybe mistakes develop, now they know where it's coming from, and it's usually coming from their earlier possessions. So it's nice to be able to iron those things out before the next game. I need about 10 days between every game. If I have that, I'm good. Hey, we're gonna win a lot of games. So
I got one more for you.
Yeah.
Each of your first 2 games, you lost a turnover battle, but still found a way to win.
Yes.
So what must be done to clean up these mistakes going forward? But also, more importantly, how did you pull off those wins?
Yeah, so we knew that it was going to be ugly at the beginning. I think there were a lot of jitters. A lot of those guys we played, that was their first collegiate basketball game that they've ever been in, and so they looked that's not who we are. They looked totally different than what they did in practice, and so at times I was wondering who we had out there, but controlling tempo is something that we've got to learn over time, and knowing when to go fast and then when to slow things down. Even from the first game to the second, I felt like we did 100% better, and we did clean those turnovers up. From the first game to the second game, we had 10 less, but going into the quarter, we only had 9 turnovers, which every game, one of our goals is to be below 10 turnovers. So we were taking care of the ball really well for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter got us. But I was proud of the way that they responded to that. And, as far as winning those games, I feel like it's very special, especially when you have freshmen on the court, that they're figuring out ways to win a basketball game. I do feel like we're shooting the ball better this year, and I think that ultimately that's what helped us win. That first game, we out-rebounded the other team by 10, and so that helps win games.
Got a matchup, of course, home opener against Adams State on Thursday, and then you hit the road, the open conference play at UTPB on Saturday. What are you expecting from those matchups?
totally different things is what I expect out of those two. Adams State is a dribble drive team. They're going to try to get downhill and they're going to try to attack the middle and tear us apart right there. They look for our weaknesses in our defenses, and that's who they're going to attack. They're coached really well, and they have no mercy. They're going to get the ball out and play fast, so our transition defense has got to be right on, and we got to make sure that we're communicating. That's something that we've been focused on from day one, is making sure that we're communicating out on the floor, whether it be on the defensive end or the offensive end. But I think, if we can seal the gaps and make them beat us from the outside, I think we're gonna be okay. We should come out with that win. And then UTPB they are shooters. We've got to make sure that we've got to guard the three. So our closeouts are going to be different. We got short closeouts on Thursday. We got long closeouts on Saturday. UTPB came off of a great season last year. They've got a lot of blood flowing in their veins right now from last season, a lot of motivation. They've returned a lot of great players from that year, and then they've added players that we are very familiar with who are really good. And so we just got to make sure that we know personnel as far as these two games go and understand who we're guarding and how to guard them.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, you're welcome.